Hey everyone, this is a quick review of the Ancient Mesopotamia Map and Map Questions assignment. This assignment starts with a couple of paragraphs. It's important to read through these paragraphs because that has some key information and some background information that will be helpful when you learn more about this place we now know as Mesopotamia. It is a land between two rivers. You're going to see and read about the Tigris River and the Euphrates River and how this land was part of the Fertile Crescent, which had good soil for growing crops. And so civilization started in this area. You have your map questions below the paragraphs. These do not need to be answered using complete sentences. You'll also notice that some of them have short lines to indicate how many answers, either cities or lines of latitude or longitude, how many answers that I am looking for. So there are 9 questions total. The last page has your map of ancient Mesopotamia. First thing I want to point out is the symbols in the map key. This box shows this dark gray region is the Fertile Crescent. You'll read about that in the paragraphs. The dotted or dash and dotted lines show different regions: Assyria, Babylon, and Sumer. And then the solid dot is a city. Now, one thing that is not in the key are these very thin lines. They are rivers. So here we have the Euphrates River and the Tigris River. And what I'm going to do and what I recommend is just to trace those out so that you can see where the Euphrates River lies. Goes through a few cities here, ends up in the Persian Gulf, and the Tigris River to the north or the northeast comes down this way, and this has some branches off, but we'll put it towards the Persian Gulf as well. So here are 2 rivers. We can see them a little bit clearer now. We have the Mediterranean Sea over to the west, the Red Sea, the Persian Gulf, or other bodies of water not too far from this region. Another thing that I want to include in this section is a short note, and I think I will do that with a text box in the corner next to the key, for latitude and longitude. If you recall, latitude lines run horizontal or parallel to the equator. Longitude lines from the North Pole to the South Pole, so those go vertically. And if I look on the right side of this page, I'm going to see the latitude lines are labeled with a number of degrees, and in this case north because it's north of the equator. So I have 25 degrees north all the way to 40 degrees north. The longitude lines are labeled at the top of the page. These lines run from 25 degrees east. They go in increments of 5 all the way to 55 degrees east. In some of the questions, number 4 and number 5, instead of using the words latitude and longitude, it uses the words parallels and meridians. And it's really important that you remember which direction the parallels go. So I'm going to include just a little reminder here that parallels will go parallel to the equator, so horizontal-like shape. Meridians go from the North Pole to the South Pole. So in these 2 questions, they're very similar, but you are looking for 2 lines of parallels, the 35th and the 40th parallels, and in number 5, the 35th and the 40th meridians, and you will list the 4 cities between those 2 lines. Number 5 and 4 cities between those 2 parallels in number 4. Number 6 also has to do with latitude and longitude. It is looking for 2 lines of latitude and 2 lines of longitude, which is why there are 4 blank spaces. And it asks, most of the Fertile Crescent is between these 2 lines of latitude and these 2 lines of longitude. So if I'm looking at this dark gray curved area, which is the Fertile Crescent, I need to find which of these lines of longitude kind of box in my Fertile Crescent. It's okay if I cut off a little piece because the question asks about most, but I don't want to cut off half of the Fertile Crescent. So I'll find the furthest to the east and the line furthest to the west. And then over here, I'm going to look for 2 lines of latitude that include all of the Fertile Crescent. If you have any further questions on this assignment, please feel free to ask, and I would be happy to help you out.